This is our Jurassic World movie / thoughts review type thing. We already pre-recorded everything already, but we realized that we're going to split this up into 2 parts. So this first part that you're about to see is more of our thoughts on the movie, and what else? I can't even remember.
Thoughts in a generic view of it, what we thought. It was a good summer film, bad summer film.
Yeah, and letting you know right now, good. So the first part's going to be about that. And then we're going to have a second part, which I'll upload. I don't know, should we upload another video or should we just do it in the same?
Probably in the same. Either way, the second part will be spoiler territory, Easter egg territory, and stuff we really enjoyed.
Yeah. So we'll definitely, I think we will make it a second video. That way it just works better, I guess.
Either way, you as the viewers will find out.
Yeah. So yeah, so here's the first part. We hope you enjoy. Hello everyone, welcome to our Jurassic World thoughts and review of the movie, basically. I am Daniel and this is my friend James.
Heyo.
Me and my wife, we've been to see this movie twice so far. I would go see it a third time. Probably that would happen next Tuesday. But anyways,
I've only seen the movie once.
Yes. But James also agrees that the movie was awesome. So to start off on our thoughts, personally for me, I thought the movie, I'm kind of one of those easygoing people that doesn't really see much wrong with the movie. So for me, I enjoyed the whole thing. I'll probably discuss things later on that I may have found a little bit but I mean, I don't even think I have much. But what about you, James? What do you feel like?
I'm more of a nitpicky person. I can find tons of faults, tons of great things about a movie. Overall, I found it was a really fun movie. I enjoyed it. I'd probably go see it again a second time. Definitely worth a full price admission ticket for a first time viewing, if it hasn't been spoiled for you. Will we be having spoilers here?
Good question. At this current point, in the beginning of this right now, no, but I think we will eventually get into that later on. So this is a warning right now. Later on in the video, there will be spoilers, and I will let you know exactly when, so that way you can just stop playing the video. Either stop playing the video, or we'll say start at this point.
Can we get an editor to go spoiler warning?
Spoiler warning. I'll see if I can't get that in. So, our thoughts, or our first thoughts. Overall storyline, I thought was really well done, for me personally anyways. I think the fact that they go back to the first island was a neat idea, because the first movie had so much, what would you say, like wonder and awe about it, that...
Oh yeah, well, you know, seeing it as a kid, you're seeing dinosaurs with animatronics, very little CGI at that time. I mean, it was amazing to see dinosaurs on the big screen, such an epic storytelling. I think this one is kind of trying to be reminiscent of the first one, while still trying to be its own.
Yes, definitely, and you see this in the movie, and I'm not going to go into many details, but it does give, or no details at this point, but it does give a lot of nods to the first movie.
And a little bit of the third, which I will say later in this review.
Okay, that you're going to have to explain to me, because I'm interested in that. That's something that I probably did not pick up on. Unless I think... Anyways. So yes, a lot of nods to the first movie. But Colin Trevorrow, the director of Jurassic World, he was wanting to bring a new aspect to the franchise that we haven't really seen before, because in the first movie, Jurassic Park, the park was never open. It only had a certain amount of people that got to actually view it before the general public. Well, would have unless nothing went wrong. Um, so Jurassic World, you get this environment where the park is finally open. It's 20 years later, or
20
22,
years later.
20 years later, and it's finally open. You get to see guests actually in the park and viewing these animals for the first time. Well, not for the first. Well, I guess you could say for the first time because
Some for the first time, but there was a line in the movie. I think it was also in the trailer. People are getting bored of dinosaurs.
yeah, like that's the key element in this. The park has been open for a little while now, so it's getting to the point where they have to do new things to get guest attraction to the park. Like people are actually getting tired or bored of dinosaurs. Um, you have any more thoughts on that?
It makes sense with today and how we react to new technology. You know, in 6 months something new comes out, we get excited for the new thing. We start caring less about the old thing. So it made sense plot wise that yeah, you're gonna have to make new dinosaurs.
But of course, you do that and things don't go well. um, let's see. Can we talk any more about the? Let's see. Do you have anything to add as far as
Mine's kind of a
spoiler
little bit
ish?
spoilery with Easter eggs that were nods to the first movie and third movie, so I have to save everything for later.
Okay, let's see if we can
But my thoughts, the plot, it did seem kind of generic, obvious, except for some aspects toward the end, which I liked it. I actually wasn't invested in the characters. I was more invested in the dinosaurs themselves.
get. Yeah.
The characters themselves seemed pretty obvious, pretty standard. I wasn't like, oh my god, I hope they get out of this and survive. But somehow I wasn't like, I hope they die.
Yeah.
It was just like, all right, I like this, I like him, I like her. They're doing a fantastic. They did a fantastic job in their roles, but it wasn't. I didn't feel that attachment. Honestly, I didn't feel the attachment in the first one right away on my first viewing. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'd probably have to see this movie a few more times, and maybe I grow an attachment.
Yeah. You know, that brings me into an interesting point about character development and attachment. Um, I want to start off by saying I think the entire cast did a great job. I think the acting was well done.
Oh yeah, I agree.
But for like character development and attachment, like I want to give an example from the middle of the movie, I think it is, and this can't be a spoiler because you've seen this in the trailer. There's a part in the trailer where you see this dinosaur, and this one was a practical effect. It was an actual animatronic. I think it was a Apatosaurus, I think it was called. It wasn't an actual brachiosaur, but it was like a descendant or in the same family tree. But it's the scene in the trailer where you've seen where the dinosaurs have been attacked, like the long necks have been attacked. And that's where you hear Chris Pratt say, the new dinosaur is killing for sport. I actually felt a genuine attachment to both Chris Pratt and, Chris Pratt's character, Owen Grady, and Claire, that was her name, Claire in the movie, but what is the actor's name again? Bryce Dallas Howard, yes. Her character, Claire, I felt an attachment to those two in that scene because it's kind of sad to see that dinosaur just struggling at its last moments of life. And just there, I felt genuine emotion from them, as well as the actual dinosaur. I mean, it's not real, but they brought out an animal aspect to the dinosaurs now, and I like that because that's what they were. They were animals, you know.
It was great for that scene when they actually made it an animatronic versus a CGI.
Yes, exactly.
So again, that's a throwback to the first one using animatronics. Obviously, the original creator who worked on Jurassic Park couldn't do it for this movie, so it was nice to see that at least the new director was trying to reflect the first one.
They didn't bring Stan Winston in? I thought they did.
I don't believe they did.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
We both could be wrong on this one.
But I believe they got someone else to do it like that, to give the nod, saying yes, this was his amazing work that he used to do. I think his studio was taken over.
Oh, okay.
He's off the main studio projects, but it's definitely they did I think they did a great job with the animatronic.
So maybe the studio was involved. I know they brought on a lot of people from the prior movies to work on this movie. But yeah, I'm not sure about Stan Winston. Anyways, but yeah, that's how I felt about that one scene. Guys, you really can't say much more without getting into spoilers. So,
well, I was going into this movie. I was trying to avoid spoilers as much as possible. The main spoilers I really got were: first 10 minutes is amazing, the middle 10 minutes is amazing, the ending 10 minutes is amazing. Everything else is okay. And that was like, oh, I hope that isn't what I think going into this. And I was actually enjoying it. It was obviously more than 10 minutes on each of those sections. I think the movie was, 2 hours and 20 minutes? Or at least close to 2 hours?
The runtime according to Flickster is 2 hours and 3 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. And that includes your kind of opening scene plus the credits. So if you tack off the credits, probably an hour and 50 minutes. Well, hour 55 probably.
So really close to 2 hours.
Yeah.
And it was longer than Jurassic Park 3. Everything was intensified. They did it for a good reason. It moved the plot along. And yeah, I'm trying to avoid spoilers right at this point.
Let's talk about the CGI real quick. The CGI was, I think, now somebody brought this to my attention. The first half, it looks like the CGI may be a little bit like they didn't take as much time to polish it in the first half of the movie. But the second half, it looks like they did take the time to actually really polish it out. And there's an ending scene, which we'll get into later, where you can definitely tell they did a lot of work on this part. But my main thing about that is I'm kind of upset at the people who are like, oh, the CGI was so bad. The CGI was so bad. Why didn't they use more practical effects? One, I don't agree with you that the CGI was that bad. Two, they could not use more practical effects in this movie for one reason, because this movie was meant to be more in the action category, I think. What do you think on that?
From what they were going for, it seems like that. Yeah, I would have enjoyed practical effects maybe in the beginning of the movie, when things were kind of calm, more than the CGI. But for first viewing, I didn't see a problem with the CGI. That wasn't really what I was looking for. I was trying to focus on the story, what's going on, see the development. Looking back, I think you might be right on how the CGI was looking towards the end of the movie, that it was looking a little bit better. But again, for the big scenes, they made sure that was polished, and for the sort of downtime ones, maybe not so much. That might be true, and it didn't bug me.
Yeah, and that's our point here. Is you don't. It's not to the point where it can bug you. You're sitting there in the movie wow.
I mean, if you're gonna go into the movie thinking, okay, this is the fourth movie, it's going to suck, I'm gonna nitpick at everything, then yeah, you're probably gonna find a lot of problems with it. But no movie is without a problem. There is something wrong with every movie, and trying to avoid nostalgic glasses, I saw those problems, but I still think it's a fun movie for the summer.
Yes.
Plain and simple.
Exactly. If you're a Jurassic Park fan, definitely go see this movie. I mean, I honestly can't see how anybody can't love this movie if they're a Jurassic Park fan. And like you said, there are things that, with any movie that you can pick out and be like, eh. But this movie, I think, has less of those and more good points to actually, make it a good movie. Okay, so that does it for our first part of this movie/thoughts review of Jurassic World. So I'm gonna stop this first video here, and I'm gonna provide a link for you guys down in the description that will start our second one, or second video for the nostalgia / more spoiler review.
Yeah, we're gonna go into great detail about that part.